we're gonna figure out why Bao's hated on the internet together, chat. It's gonna be our last video of the night. So let's figure this out, shall we? Let's go through this.
To get hated on the internet. One moment you are the darling of your circle. The next, you are everyone's favorite punching bag.
Don't worry,
Whether
Cody,
that
you'll
be
find
one
a
Google
special gal
Docu,
someday.
one
I know
bad
you
video,
will.
one sentence
wish.
that crosses
I
the line.
wish, Doka.
Many creators have experienced the full brunt of their audiences and the
Goated
internet's
Dying
wrath.
Light song.
But sometimes, this switch up doesn't happen immediately. It happens slowly and gradually. Beloved creators are usually accompanied.
I'm not in the Discord as of yet, so I can't put the Nux video in there. I make it a habit to give it some time before I join a Discord. That's fine, DK. That's absolutely 100% fine.
By defensive fan bases and neutral
You're here, buddy. That's all that I need you for. You're here. You're good.
onlookers who will justify their actions or give them the benefit of the doubt. But this happens usually with just one or two mistakes. Multiple wrongs that resemble a pattern, though, that's enough to gradually wear down this patience and respect. Such is the case of Bao the Whale, a beloved VTuber who has won hearts with her vulnerability, sheer raw energy, and more than hilarious moments.
Yes.
But just outside her close circle lies loud critics that await
Oh my god, Legendary's in a Bao video.
a comeuppance. Across multiple platforms, it's getting harder to ignore the mounting backlash against Bao, and a few fans or onlookers might have seen these and felt confused. This video will chronicle these reasons, and hopefully it will serve as a lesson to public conduct as a content creator. Hopefully, it will serve as proof that the reasons people may love you can often be the reasons why people may hate you. Bao is an old soul in the internet. In fact, she's more OG than some of your OG VTubers. She used to go by the handle Hikaru Station, who uploaded her first video on July of 2015, almost 11 years ago. She was an utaite, a brand of YouTubers whose main content consists of covering Japanese songs. I would like to think she was relatively successful too. Even now at her peak, her top 3 most played song covers were from years ago, even before she had her Bao persona.
The Bubblegum KK is when I first heard about her. Damn. 5 years
This
ago,
would go on for at least half a decade, up until the VTuber boom of 2020. Hikaru Station made a post on Reddit promoting her whale VTuber model. This would be when she gave herself the name Bao. Through viral clips, her half-decade of musical and content creation experience and the network gained from this experience, Bao quickly rose through the ranks of being Western VTubing's most recognizable names, and she was
Yeah, I was a very, 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 very delicate person working in that jail when I found Bao. I needed something funny, and COVID was around. We were all in dark times during COVID, and yeah, that was dark times for me, chat.
the genuinely fun.
I've never watched Bao except when she was on with Fillion back in the day. See, Drew, the reason why I know who Bao is because Cinder was my Oshi was one of my Oshis back in the day, and that's the reason why I know Bao. Bao was never an Oshi of mine. She was more like, hey, I work in a jail with a bunch of crackheads, and I need some comic relief from my super depressing day that I had working in a jail, dealing with, people high on heroin, meth, dealing with, murderers, rapists, sickos, psychopath. Yeah, that type of deal. Yeah, that's why I watched Bao, because she was funny.
Forced to be around, yet at the same time, there was a rawness to her energy. She was unfiltered in a seemingly genuine, not cringy way. It felt like she was one of us, an actual weeb who loved VTubing, anime, and the very same things that we fans liked. She was as much as a degenerate as a lot of us. Not in the so you can goon to me way, but in the let's goon together way. I need to be.
Yep. This is when the downfall of Bao started. I thought this wasn't even funny. I thought this was fucking stupid.
She wore her heart on her sleeve, and people.
I gave Bao 3 chances to appeal to me, and she failed to do so. Hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, DK.
Noticed, so one can't help but open their hearts to her in turn. But cracks started showing, and at first they weren't the cracks that many people thought they were. In mid-2023, Bao got caught into a bad situation, one that would sour and poison her perception of business and VTubing for years to come. She talks on stream about how she lost all her subathon money, scammed by an animation studio who is now refusing to render her any service. The total loss was $34,000.
Yeah. This is where I still felt bad for her.
The studio behind this was One Studio Cell, manned by a person who claimed to have the qualifications under his belt, as he had previously worked with Tonari Animation, a veteran, well-respected studio in the industry. For reference, Tonari made Gura's Shark animation and was
You saved yourself a lot of mind poison, Sneaky.
Also responsible for
Cody,
working on major
Doom
animes like
Crossing,
Mushoku
Eternal
Tensei,
Harvest?
Danmachi.
What? There's something having to do with Doom that I don't know about? Huh? What? Blue? No!
And this entire list. So suffice to say, the person behind Studio Cell, James Wick, had the repertoire to lure in some potential.
Oh, yeah, Geary Mart. That's who I was talking about earlier in that other video. Geary Mart. Geary. I don't watch Geary anymore because of this. I don't watch any of the girly pops anymore. Because of Bao. And because of the whole Cinder situation. I can't fucking stand them. Every time that they appear on the Twitter timeline, I'm just like, Argh!
Clients. And initially, he indeed got clients like Girl DM, Osaka na Nimu, and Unigiri, all of which had had some good experience with Studio Cell, but quickly turning sour after some progresses in their projects. While this drama was broiling behind the scenes, Bao was the one that kicked the entire situation out to the public. Many VTubers like Sarue, Captain Hana, and even Giga all shared their horror stories with the studio, parroting the same incident, them putting money in it and nothing coming.
Wait, Vienna's from Italy? What? Oh god, and then you got Sarue too. Another fucking VTuber that I hate.
Out. Though Bao was later able to get a partial refund due to her winning 2 PayPal disputes. Studio Cell even made an entire Google Docu to try and justify on why he hasn't refunded the girls, but it wasn't received very well
Haha, there you go, bud. In Discord, it's a song. Oh no.
for obvious reasons. No service rendered means you
After we get done with this last video, guys, I'll play the song.
don't keep the fucking money. Obviously, we can all agree that this is not Bao's fault, like literally zero. James Wick and
I thought Vienna was Canadian.
Studio Cell came from a prestigious, trustworthy background who had the talent, experience, and the
Saw
work to
what
back
Red
up their
posted
words
in
up
the
until
AIR
the
channel?
last minute. Anyone could have fallen for this. It was really only
Yeah,
in
she
hindsight
apparently
where
wants
James
me in
Wick
there
was
with you,
discovered to
Greenie.
be fired from Tonari, not as this person that he painted himself to be. Although this situation had some sort of partial resolution, things weren't going to let up. 2 weeks after this situation, Bao had to go to the Philippines. Alongside her manager, Charlotte, she was to personally attend Conquest, a convention that was marketed to be one of Southeast Asia's biggest in 2023. Remember Cha? She's a surprise tool that will help us later. This convention was super hype, but due to mismanagement, a whole lot of greed, and a whole lot of corporate bullshittery, it ended up being one of the worst con experiences in the country.
Again, another moment where I felt bad for Bao. And gave her money. Because I'm a fucking idiot.
I was there. I remember it all too well. That was a Taylor Swift reference. In any case, Conquest being as bad as it was affected everyone. The attendees, the artists and celebrities, and especially the staff. In fact, I feel bad for the staff the most. They were facing one in front of the backlash despite just doing their best with a bad situation. And because they were overwhelmed, Bao
no,
was
Cody,
severely
this
neglected.
one has you.
Bro didn't have
Bao
anyone
was
to
forced
communicate with
eat
in regards to
Pang
the
Pang
appearance
for a
when she
whole
was
week. Faye, I used to feel bad for her. I can't feel bad for her now. I
to
can't
show
do
up,
it.
or even audio checks. Meanwhile, Shoto was apparently treated like a VIP, his balls always empty from the jobs the staff were blowing. Nobody was talking to Bao, and it seemed like people there forgot about her. With her experience just recently getting scammed 2 weeks ago, her being essentially scammed now, she had a bit of a mental breakdown. more than a bit of a mental breakdown even. And when Bao wanted to talk to her community about why she wasn't appearing on time and why she wasn't anywhere at all, she took to Twitter to say that the organizers forgot about her. And when she tweeted that, that was when staff members decided to reply to Bao and even asked her to delete the tweet. Bao despaired over the situation, considering last year's Conquest experience was overall fun for her. Even the organizers showed proof that they did try to reach out to Bao.
This? Red, you need to stop smiling. Anyway, this is exactly why I want to support Leaf and what she's trying to do to take the indie VTuber experience and try to make it into a con. The moment that Leaflet decides to make a con for indie VTubers that have our way of thinking, guys, I will do whatever I have to do to get invited to one of those cons. I don't care. I'll sell my soul. Leaflet, you can have my soul. You can have it. I know that it's a wadded up, you know, piece of shit, but you can still have it. Please invite me to your con when you please start it, please.
But with how bad the entire event was handled, there was really no saving it. This year was so bad that Conquest was cancelled for the foreseeable future. Bao would move on from this entire thing, and 7 months later...
I am ashamed to say, my first VTuber was Melody back in 2020. I'm a gooning jerk.
She came out with...
You know what? Back in 2020, dude, I think that we were all there. Honestly. Oh my goodness gracious. Who rated me? While we're talking about Bao.
We are tonight's entertainment.
Momo! Oh my god, thank you for the raid. What were you guys doing? What was going on? We're right now taking a deuce all over Bao and why the internet hates her. Hello! Hi, Momo.
With a sudden statement
Thank you for
saying
your
that
raid.
she'll no longer work with Copium merch, saying
Mario
that she's
Kart?
not satisfied
Oh god, my little sister Lily would love you.
with their services, and that Vita Ramen...
A bear, I think.
Oh. She later posted a tweet saying that she would like to stop being taken advantage of. Considering the amount she's been through in the past 8 months alone, it's easy to see why. And only 2 weeks after this, she would expand on her previous statement, detailing a bit more about the Copium merch situation. She said that since 2022...
Thank you for being here, Momo. Go feed your bunny.
She has not been paid by the company.
Shit,
after
it's
being
Momo,
repeatedly
in the
promised
same
throughout
tone as
2023
in
that they
Too
would
Fast, Too
finally give
Furious.
her what she is owed this year, she learned that the company has actually burned through all their money and could no longer afford to pay her. To try and make up what she was owed, Bao had to sell old variations of previous merch releases and despairs over the loss of trust and pressure from paying members of her community. Vita Ramen would try to help her with these logistics. It wasn't just Bao too, there was also Yuzu, Shoto, and even Amalie that fell victim to Copium merch and hasn't been paid for years. There was a thread a couple days before Bao released this.
So, when it comes to like merch like Fumos and t-shirts and all that type of shit, I only trust Leaflet right now in the VTubing space. So whenever she gets that merch company started is when you guys will start seeing that kind of merch out of me. Uwu Market, I've been talking to Straub actually when it comes to Uwu Market and about merch in the future from them, and basically what she's saying is that Rev and Straub have never had a problem with them. But that is not going to happen, guys, until January of next year. I am not going to start thinking about merch like you all want me to until then. Okay? Leaflet and right now, U2's. Well, Uwu Market is kind of piquing my interest because Rev is still involved with them. And I've been talking to Rev and Straub since this whole entire situation with me went down, and they've been really great supporters. I might give Uwu Market a go this upcoming January if we increase the numbers on the channels. So be prepared for that, guys, up in January. I might start something in December to try and get Leaflet's attention about my FUMO and getting it funded. Just so that you're aware. So look out in December, guys. There might be a Bear Slayer FUMO coming out.
Statement.
And I might need your help getting it funded.
VTuber Isa Corva released a Google Document about how their
ears down, I'm sorry for saying. The time Bao lost me was when she announced she was basically parting ways with Vitamin and trying to fix the merch situation. Her Twitter announcement on that made me feel like she was disrespecting and not giving thanks to the Venorama guy for trying to help. I've yet to get anything from Uwa Market, only YouTunes. But I have faith in Leaflet getting it done.
Their manager asked for a small loan of $1,100, only to then later learn that she also asked and borrowed money from...
Here's what I'll say about the FUMO, because you guys in Discord are very, very interested in the FUMO. Leaflet says that there's a particular number that... Well, there's a particular number that I need to get Leaflet's attention. Okay? And I'm not going to disclose that number until we get further into the year.
Multiple people using the same sob story and never paid them back. Bao would reply to this thread saying that she'll never get a manager again, and when a commenter pointed out that a manager could have helped with the Copium merch situation, Bao responded that the owner of Copium merch was her manager. Cha Latte, this person who was helping Bao with Conquest all this time, was the owner of Copium merch. It was surprising to me because I didn't know, and Bao would later throw shade.
Wait, Cha Latte was the owner of Copium merch? Copium merch has rebranded Rip the Frog. We're taking in new clients for launches in 2024, so feel free to reach out if you're interested. We take creators of all sizes. Copium merch. They were also still looking for more potential clients in December despite not having paid any of us out.
Pointing out that Bro had the audacity to look for new clients 2 months prior to Bao's expose, probably to try and pyramid scheme their way into paying what she owes if she had plans to pay what she owes in the first place. Cha had seen Bao get scammed, emotionally wrecked, and spiral into a low, low place throughout 2023 and literally said that she got one more in her. Bao getting scammed 3 times within a span of a year is extremely unfortunate.
This is where I'm going to regret losing DJ as a mod, because it is starting to get to the point, guys, where I have to start thinking like this when it comes to it, because I have a lot of companies already that I've turned down because I don't like their products. People are asking me for sponsorships, and you guys know me, I will not support the sponsorship of a product if I don't like the product. They've sent me samples and all kinds of other stuff. I've got like 3 more samples coming in the mail already. You guys are making me heavily popular, and I cannot thank you enough for that. And I know that I need the money, but I will not shill you guys on a product that I don't trust. That's just hook, line, and sinker. I won't do that. I won't do that, you guys. I will not push a product on this channel or on my channels that I don't like, that I don't think you will like.
But it also bred a bit of a negative sentiment. Not negative, just a bit of doubt in her character. People felt bad for Bao, but some started to recognize that despite all of these not being her fault, how oblivious do you have to be to get screwed over to that extent multiple times in a short span of time? Perhaps she's too trusting for her own good. Maybe she surrounds herself with very manipulative people. Or maybe she's just not a very smart person. It doesn't necessarily paint a bad picture. Most content creators are stupid in many ways, including yourself.
Not happening,
truly.
Red.
At least Bao hasn't promoted a crypto scam, bro. But 3 major scams in a span of a year? Jesus. This could stem from them being young or inexperienced, and in the cutthroat and volatile space that is the entertainment industry, people like Bao can get easily taken advantage of or easily get burnt. Bao is even aware of this criticism, with a post in December of 2024 where she says that VTubers such as herself cannot go after these failed companies and usually resort to forfeiting owed debt because even if they have a strong case against them, pursuing legally will continuously drain them of money and mental energy. Like, it's just not worth it. She further says that her being scammed all the time is just her being loud whenever somebody wrongs her, implying that she has been sent cease and desist letters as well as threatening emails, and that publicly outing these internal problems with business partners really only invite unnecessary drama, and that Redditor tier intellectuals.
So, I was supposed to stay silent when I got completely screwed? Is that what the VTuber community thinks as a whole? So when Vex screwed me, I was supposed to stay silent? Is that why I'm getting all these death threats every day? I don't know. You tell me, chat.
Would think they're an expert about how to deal with said problems. Another segment in her rant says that the people who scammed Bao, among many others, were experienced conniving sons of
Good
bitches
night,
who
Halo.
also
Thank you
fooled
for being
even
here,
veteran
buddy.
and smarter creators. Anyone can be a VTuber manager. Anyone can be a studio or a company, even without the background to back it up. And that because VTubing is so new and niche, many predatory and malicious entities are looking to take advantage of suckers that are new and inexperienced. She seemingly hints at what her previous manager was doing to her in this rant, charging $1,000 a month just to answer emails and actually just sitting on her ass instead of doing anything productive, pursuing multiple clients to manage them, to take little chunks out of everyone's money, and all the time while delivering nothing. And lastly, saying that people need to speak out whenever bullshit like this happens. And, you know, I agree with everything she said at this point. Nothing but facts there, for real, for real. I don't think it needs no breaking down.
Yeah, Bao wasn't hated by the VTuber community because of this. Because of that first set of circumstances that happened back to her in 2019, 2020. I don't think that anybody hated Bao because of what she was going through. I mean, she got scammed like 3 times in a year.
But living throughout all of these experiences and a few minor cancellation attempts by Twittards, like how she was receiving criticism for Baoberry being fat-phobic, and also a lot of Vietnamese people canceling her for saying Happy Chinese New Year, Bao developed a mental darkness. Throughout 2024, Bao has made it clear that she is not in the best headspace and in the best physical condition, often mentioning a sort of depression, chronic pain, especially from her TMJ issues, and her PMDD.
My whole entire viewing of actual, like, stuff like that, I will keep it behind the scenes as much as humanly possible, and I will not do what she did with hers. It's... My whole entire situation, though, it's like it's like playing 4D chess right now. And, yeah, I'm getting my ass kicked. But when it comes to like business stuff, guys, I'm not gonna put that out on the net unless it's, you know, actually relevant to you guys. Like I said, I have 6 people sending me samples of products that they want me to freaking push, and you guys didn't know that until I talked about it, which, as I said before, I won't shill you a product I don't believe in.
These problems even got to a point that she needed to take a surgery. This dark mental space is key context for what she would do later, because 2025 would end up perhaps being one of her
to add
worst
context.
years.
Yes, tragedy, yes.
2025 wasn't just a very bad year for Bao, it was a bad year for everyone in VTubing. Indie VTubing got bombarded by one drama after another.
Yeah, 2025 fucking sucked. But for some reason, I had the most numbers I had ever had in 2025. I don't know why, but I went... At the beginning of 2025, I went from 650 followers on Twitch with 5 followers on Kick to now we're almost midway through 2026 and I'm at 1.6K with 550 on Kick, which is really nuts. So technically, the whole entire drama with Nanolis and Cinder actually helped me because it brought all the people who were discouraged by that conflict to indie VTubers like me, Celeste, Leaflet, Juju. All of the people in those orbits all received the benefit of the little girly pop's downfall.
Another, big players were leaving Hololive, V Shoujo collapsed, Nijisanji also lost big players and had a sex pest problem. Ain't nobody was having fun in
2025. Let me rewind that.
V Shoujo collapsed, Nijisanji also lost big players and had a sex pest.
So this sex pest is KO. Yeah, that's KO right there, guys. And he was going around doing unsafe shit to Nijisanji's talents. Which is why I have a big old fucking beef with him, because he's a mentally abusing piece of shit. Who also believes in so many leftist ideologies that it makes him look like a woman instead of a fucking man.
Problem. Ain't nobody was having fun in 2025, bro. But the second biggest drama was the great VTuber takedown of Cinder. Now, I'm not just going to recap the entire drama, but I am going to go through specifically Bao's involvement. When Nanoless dropped her initial Google Doc, Bao got involved and also created her own docu, highlighting that Cinder is the reason Nanoless cancelled on her model and that this is a grave betrayal. That Cinder's man.
See, this is... Oh, I don't want to relive this, but we're going to do it for the sake of the video. Because I actually respect Depressed, and I like how he does his videos, and I think that he deserves a lot more credit than he gets.
Was shit-talking Bao to many people and even accused Bao of hoarding a channel editor and an MV editor, after which she would go on stream and cry about the experience that she had. Bao chronicles how completely blindsided she was, that she went out of her way to support and forgive Cinder's past wrongs, and that she hated the fact that Cinder saw them as competition. She further laments how this industry can turn good friendships into transactional relationships, about how ruthless and fake people can be to get what they want. Why her?
Oh yeah, this was her little crying stream. Oh, thank you for the follow.
Every friend Cinder had, why specifically her?
Oh,
it's hard not to sympathize
Thank you for the follow, man.
To a Bao fan, acquaintance, or a Bao friend, this is soul-crushing. Your Oshi genuinely bawling her eyes out for a deep, deep betrayal is a pain very few can picture. And when you know that Bao has been through so much in this past year alone, it can be very easy to become unconditionally supportive. But then later on, Cinder responded, and we have some semblance of proof that in reality, Nanoless was not as powerless and manipulated as she painted herself to be in the original accusation. Nanoless was the one that initiated exclusivity and canceling on others. Even if Cinder was ultimately a bad friend, it's undeniable that some facts have been omitted and words were twisted to paint her as more malicious than she actually was. The many people that are involved in this drama came to this extreme conclusion under half-truths and false pretenses by Nanoless, Bao most especially. With this in mind, the picture that a lot of...
You want to know what's really crazy, chat? Is that back in the day, I actually wanted Nanoless to do like a 3.0 model for me. That is how much respect I had for Nanoless and the work that she does. But then I found out that she doesn't do guy models and that she only does girl models, and then I was kind of like, eh. Then I found out about this and that she lied this badly against Cinder that I was like, well, never trusting you ever again. Never gonna watch your shit. Never gonna look up to you ever again. That's never gonna happen.
People have painted was that Bao was just used like a fleshlight by Nano.
Dodged a bullet?
Nanoless's agenda.
That's not a bullet, demonic. That's a fucking cannon.
Now, under Cinder's 1,000-page Google Docu, Cinder and Redacted made a segment made as special.
Even if you're friends. Yes, but there's a way, Yeah, you want to know something, though? You can still be on the same team and compete. That whole entire situation, Red, was not people competing with each other. That was people pulling out knives and stabbing each other in the spine like a bunch of fucking little girly retards in high school. That's what it all was. There's a bunch of preppy girls stabbing each other, treating it like it's high school.
For Bao. In this segment, they apologize to Bao, and
Bullet
Cinder
Bill
even
Dodge.
admits that she indeed
It
had
was
neglected
Longhouse?
their friendship.
Oh. Demonic just said it out loud.
Cinder also admits that Redacted indeed hated Bao's guts, and that Cinder slowly got influenced by this hatred. And after the initial Google Docu dropped, Cinder wanted to explain her side of the story to Bao, but had already been blocked and refused to hear any of it. In the Google Docu, Redacted admits to hating Bao due to two incidents, where, in TwitchCon 2024, Cinder, Bao, and a few VTuber friends were supposed to meet for dinner, but she never showed up and just blew them off. Even everyone in that dinner was talking about her not being there. Then, a friend of Redacted lamented on how he was guilt-tripped and ulted on by Bao to work with her on a project even though said friend insisted that they could not and didn't want to make it. And on the last night before they would go home, Bao said that she would eat and meet up with their friends unless the dinner they were going to wasn't fancy. The other instance was in
Silverveil had very little to do with it, in all honesty. If out of everybody that was involved in this, that I would go back and I never watched Silverveil. I think that I found out about Silverveil when people tried to cancel her over the whole entire Hogwarts thing. I think that's when I first found out about Silverveil. I've watched a couple of her streams. I mean, if she's your cup of tea, she's your cup of tea, dude. You know, the whole entire like bubbly personality thing with me and VTubing is dead after this whole entire Cinder situation. I can't believe it anymore.
In Japan of the same year. Bao allegedly
and that's all Silverveil is, bro, is she's a very bubbly personality, and I just can't stand that anymore. Techno Gaiden, thank you for the follow, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
got angry at one of Redacted's friends for an incident with a rude owner, yelling and humiliating them, but was just told that it's just how Bao is.
And Silverveil was an actual victim of it, since Cinder's boyfriend was trying to sabotage her by any means necessary. Friend of mine? Oh, thank you, Blue, for spreading me around. Cinder's relationship is her business. Okay? I don't understand in VTubing, why you can't talk about your significant others. I mean, look at how it works with, Rev and Straub. Their relationship, their marriage works out. Oh, he is a Doom fan? I got another Slayer fan in here? You're welcome here, dude. Leftovers from Japanese idol culture. I don't think so. Unfriendly. And Zolan and Vexoria is another good VTuber couple. Yeah, I just don't understand. Well, yes, it may be left over from the whole entire idol culture, but you're also in the West. Okay? You're not 100% idol culture over here. I don't understand why relationships are these, hidden gems within VTubing. Okay? He's more of a Doom fan than me. I'm a Duke Nukem fan. Blah! Duke Nukem is second to the Slayer. I say Doom 3 is the best one. Oh my god. I might actually cry at that answer. I might actually cry from that fucking answer. Oh my god. You just warmed my soul, Tech. Thank you. I will die. Oh my god, dude. Tech. Please stay in my chat, dude. I already like you. Classic Doom 2 as my favorite. Yeah. Hey, Cody, just got back from ads. What's up, Iron? Cinder wasn't at fault when it came to Silverveil, which is why I don't do the whole blame game, the streamer, regardless crap. That is very true. I just hate them all equally now. That's pretty much my stance on the whole entire thing. I don't hate Bao for the Cinder situation. which I'm pretty sure he's going to cover later
Lastly,
on.
when they were supposed to have a Canadian Thanksgiving together with friends, Bao never showed up and even said that she was on her way, but never appeared. All these incidents mixed together developed a seed of disdain inside Redacted, where he would start schizoing out whenever Bao got mentioned and wanted to take every chance he can get to shit-talk her. This would lead to the whole incident, with Redacted telling Nanoless that Bao sucks and that she guilt-trips people, especially with that one MV editor, Redacted telling Cinder not to do anything with Bao anymore, even to a point—
I'm sorry, but Cinder, your taste in men sucks if this is your boyfriend. I hate to say that to you, but your taste in men sucks.
That they had big arguments about it. Now, me personally, these are things that don't justify having a hate boner against someone for. I think Redacted was being more than a little schizophrenic here. But, and I failed to mention this in my Cinder video, I do think that it's wholly not something to be ignored. After the entire Cinder response unraveled, even neutral onlookers couldn't just ignore Bao's role in the story. She was easily manipulated by everyone around her. She was insensitive at times in regards to other people's time and resources, and uses her dark mental space or ult to—
This is where I started disliking Bao, because of all these reasons.
Get what she wants, and that she takes people's words at face value, not doing her own research enough or look deeply into career-altering prospects or change. To boil it down, Bao is very stupid. Bao would later respond to the Cinder—
To put it very easily, Bao is just very stupid.
Docky by joking about how much she would like to get a heads up in case somebody out there wanted to make a Google Docky about her. But in regards to responding to the events painted by Redacted, she had these to say.
I'm not so sure. When it comes to Bao, Red, you don't think that she's easily manipulated? I just think that she's retarded.
Apparently, a lot of things are worth putting into Google Docs now. I don't know, maybe like taking my editors out for dinner and, you know, one of my editors flying in from the Philippines. Apparently, prioritizing feeding them is a cause for, you know, a grudge against me. Actually, you know, another thing too is, you know, being so—
This is where the whole entire high school drama bullshit comes into play. It started with this clip.
Obsessed with me that you buy a Twitch sub and stalk my Discord site.
Are you talking about me, or are you talking about someone in my chat?
I take it more VTuber
drama. I have gotten a lot of DMs as my earlier tweets as to why I have bashed Bao a lot, so I wanted to review a video that really sums up why I don't like Bao at all. It's more or less to answer the questions of people in my DMs asking me why I hate Bao.
To my sub server, apparently.
Why I can't stand her.
Apparently that's a cause for a growing grudge, or maybe being pissed off at a racist Japanese shop owner kicking me and my friends out because we were foreigners. Apparently that's also justification for hating the absolute shit out of me. No, sorry, I should have been nicer to that racist old
You want to know something? You're in fucking Japan, Bao. Get your head out of your well-laid ass. If he doesn't want to serve you, then he doesn't want to serve you. And I highly doubt it's because he was being a racist at this point. I'm pretty sure that you guys did something stupid in there and he wanted to kick you out. I'm pretty much convinced of that at this point.
Japanese lady that kicked me and all my friends out despite us having a reservation.
That's exactly why, Demonic. That is exactly why I think her story is bullshit. Because no Eastern Asian shop owner will deny getting money. It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you she was too, Sneaky. All this boils down to California Mean Girls.
No, it's—
You want to know something?
Cool.
She mentions prioritizing feeding her editor from the Philippines, Red or Cinder, stalking her shit to find her mental breakdowns.
And many more do lately because of the tourists. I highly doubt that it started with her over racism. See, this is what happens, though, when you have a lot of distrust in the air. People start asking questions against you, Red. I got kicked out of Sarway's Discord server because I stood up for veterans in particular, especially when I forgot her rule and her Discord mods pretty much kicked me out because they didn't believe me that I was a vet with short-term memory loss. I left Cinder's Discord server after I was Toxic Pride ambushed in there for being a straight white dude. I left Yuzu's server because, again, of Toxic Pride bullshit and the fact that I would not date a transgender person, which was retarded as fuck. I'm sorry that I'm straight and I like women. I like titties and ass. I'm not gonna fucking apologize for that, man. I'm just not going to. That whole entire time during the whole entire Cinder docu thing, it felt like I was getting kicked out of groups where I had done a lot of donations, and those groups motivated me to start getting into the VTuber sphere, and then all of a sudden I watched every single VTuber that I was watching at the time for their own particular skill set. I watched Yuzu because she was a straight up nerd. Because she had skill at Elden Ring and Dark Souls games. Games that I can't play for shit. Bao was funny. Cinder was nice. Vienna's a goober. Oh, Tricky was loud and annoying, and that whole entire shit with Trump, well.
And her being pissed at a racist Japanese store owner
okay, with that rant right there, I fucking love you.
for doing racist Japanese things.
Thank
now,
you.
I don't know what she means in her first point. I don't think anything from the Cinder doc relates
10-1, if she wasn't being loud, she ignored a sign that said no foreigners or Japanese speakers only. That's true.
to this in any way.
I know for a fact, with her personality and the way that the mask is slipped with this woman, when I think about it now compared to back then in 2025 when all this was happening with her, I believe that she did something stupid to get kicked out of there. No matter what story she puts on the internet. She did something
Maybe
dumb.
I can stretch it and say that this is the reason she flaked out on them multiple times.
And even then, good behavior and being polite will only get you around those signs most of the time. That's true. Hold on, Blue. Hold on. Let me post my Discord real quick in the chat. Yeah, take your time, dude. No foreigners means no ugly foreigners. Well, Bao's not really that unattractive. That's the thing that hits me. Like, she's a solid 6.5, 7. She's not really an ugly looking... Her personality blows, asshole. But physically speaking, she's actually a really adorable looking chick. Ugly like acting. Oh.
I don't know. For the mental breakdown accusations, I'm pretty sure she's referring to Red having this hate boner against her here. And for the yelling at friend in Japan restaurant accusation, she explains that she did what she did because the store owner was being racist and rude. Before we break down these responses, I would like to point out that I'm pretty sure Bao didn't mean for these to be her full-blown response or an explanation for what the doc is saying. Like, she didn't think these through.
So too.
I'm sure there was more to what they did on both trips to TwitchCon in Japan. She did say she was just ranting, but even if...
Oh, so... See, I knew that she was going on with a bit about the store owner, but I didn't know it was in Japan. Huh. Well, welcome to Japan, Bao.
If this is the case, the fact is, people wanted or expected Shiley, Bao, or not...
Which is exactly why I think she did something dumb. I seriously think they didn't like her personality being in that restaurant. So they kicked her out.
Nanoles to make a response. We already had Nanoles' response, which was pretty dog, but for Bao, this was the only response we had to go off of. So let's work with what we have. Let's say the things Redacted says is exaggerated or painted in a way to make them look more favorable. You know, that's what everyone does in a Google Docie.
Oh, I know, Greenie. I know that they consider it ugly. I know that they consider certain personality traits ugly too. I know that it has absolutely nothing to do with her and how she physically looks. I know what ugly means in Japan. Which is why I stand by what I said. She did something stupid and got kicked out. 100% that's what she did.
It's only their account of the story. Bao also didn't refute all the allegations.
Okay, Mr. Kodiak VT, I applied to your Discord. I will get to it, dude, while I'm editing my YouTube videos tonight.
And just framed it as more favorable for her or just explained her side. So even if what Redacted says is partially true,
yeah, DK,
it still kinda adds a bit more not so favorable context. No one except Bao and the people she has shared the full story with knows what truly happened to her. But with the bits and pieces that's been shared by everyone else, it's hard not to think she's only telling parts of the story that makes her look good. The seeds of doubt against Bao has been watered, but the true unraveling of her reputation would happen soon after. Actually, it already was happening before she even responded to the Google Docie, and it's one that, to many, refrained her stupid girl failure mask into something much more colder and malicious. In October 2025, she tweeted this out.
Yep, and this is where she starts to get hated. This is why I hate her. Because now we know about this situation, she knew exactly who the dude was. And did not have the balls to call this guy out. You don't make a statement like this when you know a name. You make a statement like this and include the name. You don't go, male content creator. You insert that name there, Bao.
If you're an up-and-coming female content creator with a small but growing audience and a much larger and successful male creator approaches you out of nowhere and showers you with attention on stream and in DMs, etc., don't walk, run.
Okay. How many of my mutes are girls, chat? How many? I have 16 of them. You know how many mutes I have? 17. I have 17 mutes that are on my level or higher, and 16 of them are female. Only one of them is male. That's why this statement sucks. Because while she was making this statement and putting this out here about male VTubers, I had just gotten followed by Leaf. Celestium was responding to me. Mocha. Juju. Literally all the mutes that I know right now started talking to me. That's why this statement pisses me off. Because what you did with that statement is you got put guys like me who are in the minor leagues, you made all of that, you made this tweet make it look like I'm the one who harmed you. When I did absolutely nothing. I didn't deserve that. I'm sorry, but that's not the kind of man that I am. That is insulting my intelligence. As a male content creator. That's why I'll flip Bao off if I ever see her. If she comes up to me. It makes it even worse is that she knows exactly who she's talking about in this tweet and she didn't want to share it.
Now, the message itself isn't really that big of a deal, IMO, especially because at the time, the Mizkif and Emeru situation was happening in full force. This was a situation where Mizkif was being a vile person towards his former partner Emiru. Now, obviously, I read this tweet and I didn't even register that it was controversial. My reaction was duh, and I even retweeted it, putting attention into the male VTuber stigma and following up with the general interpretation that yes, creators bigger than you hitting you up out of nowhere should be a red flag. But of course, not everyone understood it the way I did, because Bao's wording specifically uses men. And in the current political climate that we live in right now, it unfortunately cannot be helped that the words we say have some sort of connotations, whether we like it or not, whether we intended it or not. So a lot of people...
I do remember that Tectone said something similar, but love bombing female streamers, but it was a different context. BRB got to restart browser lagging. Ooh, sorry, Blue. At some point, it seems like Bao became an sexual feminist. Yeah. I actually, if you've been in any of the Girly Pop's Discord for more than 5 minutes, they all are like that. Be in their Discord for more than 5 minutes. See what happens to you if you're a dude in there. A straight dude, by the way. You have absolutely nothing to do with pride. Your relationship status is straight hetero. See what happens if you go into like Bao or Yuzu's server and say, hey, I'm a straight white dude here. You'll get badgered. You will. Because it happened to me.
People were calling her out to be anti-men, a misandrist, a full-blown hypocrite who takes advantage of men, yet is the first one to cry about it.
Misogyny is so cringe.
This situation actually got the Lollymancer VTuber Shondo involved, but I don't want to derail this video by going into that. Those who understood or tried to understand what Bao was trying to say came up to Bao for clarification, but instead of clarifying, she instead said this.
And to the people that are trying to dilute...
I'm gonna let this clip finish and then I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. And if Bao ever does get a hold of it, I don't care if she ever talks to me. I don't care.
What I'm saying to fit their own, like, stupid-ass anti-woman. Oh, I fucking hate you. You're misandrist. I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. Go fix your receding hairline. You ever heard of minoxidil? Yeah, try that. All right?
Yeah, okay. And I'm supposed to take that kind of fucking advice from a woman who goons in front of fucking Buddha? Saying that she wants fucking wolfmen to breed her? Seriously? You're gonna insult a whole bunch of dudes like that? And I'm supposed to take your word with all the fucking stupid-ass gooner bait bullshit that you do?
Alright, don't care. Wrap it up. Okay.
Not a good look.
You are going to be alone, Bao, forever. You are going to be alone forever. There is not a single dude who should date you. There is not a single good dude out there that should date you for who you are. You are a shit woman, and a shit feminist, and a shit leftist. You are a shitty woman all around. Because you responded like that. And I'm so glad, dude. I am so happy that you are sitting there in your nocturnal little hellhole streaming once or twice a week. Because you don't want to do it anymore.
And look, there are undeniably...
I am so happy that men stood up to you. Told you to go fuck yourself.
a vocal few who are pissed and wanted to...
Send money on me and poor people need to spend more. Yeah, exactly. Money and ego destroys people. Even my chat is saying it about you, Bao. And that's not even 2 seconds after the clip was over.
To run with the worst interpretation of the tweet possible. Or people who may have some reading comprehension skill issues who took it the wrong way and just decided to run with what the outrage is saying. But there were also people who wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. And when faced with these requests, one would expect that it should be met with grace, but Bao instead decided to lash out, citing that people are just mad at her for inserting themselves into what she is already saying, and in a later Discord message was ranting about how the backlash
Says a lot about one's personality when you can't be humble.
Backlash mostly stemmed from grifters and pyro.
Even your freaking tag on Discord is Dent. I forgot that. One of the crucial points to your existence in VTubing is that you're retarded.
Pups that were mad at her. Pyro Pups, by the way, are Cinder's fan base.
Yeah, it wasn't because us Pyro Pups were fucking mad at you. It's because you were a shitty woman and you treated men like shit.
Now obviously, these are not the best way to respond when people are asking for clarification, and it's not a great thing to see for the good faith actors trying to see what you are talking about. But later on, Bao in actual seriousness does respond to the backlash, a little bit more properly, although she's still pissed as hell and she still frames a lot of her detractors as retarded. She uses Mizkif as an example, saying that
yeah, and then she made it worse by putting us all in the same category as Mizkif after that. Fuck you for that one, Bao.
If you don't meet the conditions of these 3 things, then the tweet doesn't refer to you.
Yeah, but it does refer to me. Here's why I'm a successful VTuber. As a male. The VTuber space is 98% dominated by women. Men don't get over 1,000 followers on X and Twitch being VTubers. Therefore, I consider myself a success because I broke the fucking barrier, Bao. Which is why I was mad at you. So, fuck yourself. It does fit me, and I have every right to flip you the bird.
And that when she says these things, she has a specific set of people in mind, but that she can't say who or she will get sued. And in her anger, she expresses that if you don't understand...
That is bullshit. You could have called out Sykkuno for his bullshit right then and there. But you decided to be a little pussy about it. Because you were all up in your little fucking feelings. See, this is why people don't want a female president, dude. You're example number 1. Because you simply flip out about this kind of shit.
Understand, then you're just straight up illiterate or intentionally trying to stir trouble. The rest of her
I'm a drifter. I prefer downhill on the mountain. I looked up grifter and learned these idiots calling other grifters are projecting. Yes, Blue. Welcome to the conversation.
response is just her giving a dissertation on the strat for...
I swear people that defend these VTubers are fitting to have the Dent tag on them. Oh my god, Frost.
a lot of big male content creators to get into different women's pussies, but it's not supposed to generalize. Again, I do understand what she was trying to say. I don't think she was trying to be misandrist with that one specific tweet, but calling being cancelled engagement farming.
Nuh-uh.
Blanketing a lot of the criticism as just illiterates and angry pyro pups, and going on a blocking spree instead of clarifying properly, it's hard not to see that she's being childish. That she refuses to take accountability does not hold well to...
She did not even tell the girlfriend at the time, if I remembered correct. Because she did mean it how she said it. That's what he gets wrong. She must have assloads of simps because any self-respecting dude sub to her would have canceled after that. Yep. 100% agree. How she said it. That's what gets her wrong. Sorry if I'm dumb, but as the old saying, I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. Yeah, that's true.
The criticism and does not know how to handle backlash. Even if we agree that people were being bad faith and is refusing to genuinely engage with what Bao is saying, which I agree with, I feel like her general messaging was obvious, we also have to agree that Bao is also refusing to genuinely engage with the feedback.
Her whole post about if you meet a man and a bear in the forest, she would go to the bear, wasn't even brought up. That's another part of this that I hate, which I'm hoping that he gets to.
And that her response made it hella worse when the drama could have ended from here. That being said, me personally, I can criticize her for not immediately clarifying, but my biggest criticism of her during this arc is the vague posting itself. In general,
welcome to the Hollywood Hills hellhole of population high, where people Popular people destroy each other with egos, and fans hate when they hate people that are right. I don't think that that's Bao's problem. I don't think that it's ego with her. I think it's straight up stupidity. I think that she's actually mentally retarded. I think that she's actually that stupid. Like, I have memory issues and she's dumber than me.
I hate vague posting. If any
Yep, I found my people. I absolutely love you, Kodiak, and your community. Thanks, man. Welcome aboard.
Content creator wants to talk about a certain happening or wants to throw shade at someone that they can't completely talk about in public, then just don't say it. Say it in private circles or something, because the moment a vague post leaves your lips and onto the cesspit known as Twitter, many people are gonna want to find out.
Twitter is not a cesspit. Twitter is a PvP zone, and if you don't want to be on Twitter and you don't want to PvP, go somewhere else. Blue Sky is a perfect echo chamber for you, Bao. Go over there.
People are going to want to assume or figure out who you are talking about, what you're talking about, and what the point of you talking about it was. Whatever bad happening that comes from your own vague post is completely your own fault. Vague posting is stupid. Vague posting is bad engagement farming. You cannot call other people stupid for not understanding or looking deeply into your own vague post. That's just how I see it.
Would you rather have been stuck
But then
in
literally
the
a
forest
week
with a man or
later,
a
in
bear,
November,
woman version?
Bao
Would you rather
got into
talk
another
about
bit of
your
trouble.
feels with a
Bao
woman
made a
or
tweet on
tree,
November
male
1
version?
asking artists to
I'd rather
request
talk to
permission
the
before
tree at
posting
this
art
point.
of their clients. You spoil whatever projects or plans they might have, and then minutes later, she posts, "I hate you, Scab."
Think it's gullibility.
Scab is a
She
Japanese
keeps walking
commissioning
into
website
being
that doesn't
used.
operate on the rules of
Well, you can
traditional
only
art
fall for dumb
commissions.
shit
In
once or
Scab,
twice before
commissioners
people
don't get to
figure
have
out
revisions, don't get to have
how to
commercial
use it as
rights
their
unless
weapon.
agreed upon,
Yep,
and the
tree.
commissioner doesn't get to have a large say on how they are allowed to use the art, but it's so cheap, so convenient, so good that you almost hand wave off most of these cons. As long
Oh lord, I hope that my tweet to her on the whole entire Skeb situation is mentioned in this video.
as you understand what you're getting into by reading the terms of service,
Hands down,
then you're
tree.
good. It's hard for me to pull up the responses and the retweets from this tweet because it's already been deleted, so you're going to have to take my word for it. But in this tweet, she has had multiple responses and retweets calling her stupid and that the artists have no obligation to do that, especially if the commission was via Skeb. She deleted this tweet, like I said, after a while, because in literally 2 days, Skeb subtweeted Bao and gave an entire clarification in English just to hammer it home. It was a bit of a public humiliation for Bao, honestly, and of course, critics joined in on the call-out. A day later, she made a response, saying that she's sorry. She wasn't talking about Skeb on her initial tweet, and the second tweet below was just an add-on after she was talking.
I hate Skeb with a burning passion. I just don't think I have it in me to trust another similar platform. This is why I think that she's fucking mentally retarded. That's why I think she's mentally fucking retarded.
Talking to creators under her comment section complaining about Skeb because Skeb had the exact same problems. At this point, even passers-by started to notice. Bao was being hostile, being argumentative, being toxic and surrounded by so much drama that it's hard to keep finding positive things to say about her, even if she did have understandable conditions that enabled these behaviors. Her already having a sunken experience in the past few years alone, the whole Cinder saga, and then last week's call-out? Even if one can look at these and feel bad for Bao, in the back of many people's head, it was also hard to ignore her agency in all of it. She keeps getting into a lot of these dramas and situations that at a certain point, you can't defend her. What if those small signs of intellectual incapability, her having these crash outs, her being
PvP
easily
zone, so
manipulated,
darn
her
accurate.
being inserted into drama the 5th time this year?
That's why I love Twitter. Because I literally love to PvP. I love challenging other people. I'm not on Twitter, dude, to get a whole bunch of yes men to be on my page. I am on Twitter to challenge the people that are retarded. Literally. Because Twitter is the one platform that allows for that. I am a big, if you are new here, or you're lurking and you don't know this, I'm a big fan of Charlie Kirk. What was one of the ideologies of Charlie Kirk? When you don't debate, things break down into violence, which is true. It is valid, which is why X needs to be the way that it is. X is one of the few platforms out there where you can say 90% of what you want to say without getting in trouble for it. Thank you for the follow. Because that's what it is. It's PvP. It's societal PvP. Pace, that deserves a follow. Thank you, Drew. Thanks, man. God bless Charlie Kirk. Yes, God bless Charlie Kirk, and rest in peace. There's a Templar VTuber I watch who got crazy death threats in his Discord and Twitter DMs. Are you talking about Tactical Templar? The moment that you stop debating, guys, things get silent. And when you're silent for long enough on a particular topic, you get violent about it. Why is it that right-leaning people don't get violent all that often? Why? Right-leaning people don't get violent all that often. Why? Because we like having conversations with people. What does the left do 9 times out of 10? You confront them with a topic. They swallow you out with threatening language. They throw words at you that have absolutely no meaning anymore. That are vile and degrade you. This whole entire thing, if we accept people for who they are, is a lie. Because you obviously hate straight dudes, no matter what the race. You prop up crime. And all that happens on the left. Violence is what happens when you don't debate. Right-wing worldview encourages incremental changes. Left-wing worldview only allows progress through revolution. Nailed it right on the head there, Mad. Which is what these girly little pops are becoming. The sad thing is that they're stuck in their own echo chambers, and now it's gotten Bao completely out of streaming. She doesn't stream anymore. Her social blade is damn near non-existent now over the last 4 months.
What if all of these were her fault? But at this point, the damage was done.
Yeah.
At best, Bao was just self-damagingly stupid. At worst, maliciously misandrist. Either way is not a good look. And it was going to be hard to try to get rid of it. She acknowledges this in a tweet later, saying that she hasn't been acting like herself at all, that this year poisoned her, admitting that her being impulsive and wearing her emotions on her sleeve is a disastrous combination, and that lastly, she insists she's not malicious, just dumb as fuck. And
yeah.
Well, people still found a way to not like this response, because if we look at the previous history of the post, she did not even say sorry on the original tweet and had to actually edit it afterwards. So
yep. Another reason why I think my opinion is valid, that she's just retarded.
was she actually sorry? Does she actually mean it? Is she pulling the mental health card again for sympathy points? I know this might not be the popular opinion anymore, but even in my previous video covering the situation, I gave
Momo, I really don't want to be a political VTuber, and I don't like categories, my team versus their team, but what you described, I received from both ends of the political aisle. Being a fanatical VTuber, gaming lets you run into odd things. Momo, I will never sit there and I will never criticize somebody for who they are. It is when you sit there and you insult me when I've been nothing nice to you, that is when I will get mean. I don't go after people. It's not the goal. The goal is not to go after people. The goal is to bring up debate. Morality is the thing that the internet lacks right now, because it's got it. I am actually feeling these consequences right now. What people can do with the internet is they can ruin your life in the span of 2 hours. Because my life got ruined 2 weeks ago in the span of 2 hours. And you want to know why people did it? Because I'm a straight white dude. I lost my job. I had to deal with a sister getting stabbed. The Better Business Bureau can't get SA and SH off of my work record. I have now been rejected from 17 different job applications. I can't even do what I'm good at, which is work for a security company right now because of the fact that it's on my work record as to why I got fired. These lefts literally called my job and made up a false allegation against me, and it got me fired and put out in the cold. It's not easy to recover in the real world when you do things on the internet like that. Literally, right now, what you're sitting on is the only way that I can make money. Quite literally. Only way I can make money.
Bao the benefit of the doubt. I said that she
Friendly,
most likely did not.
I am in the middle of legal negotiations right now. The unfortunate thing is that costs money too.
Mean a lot of the things that she said or meant to her.
VTuber thing then. Yeah. I hope you take off this VTuber thing then. Oh, take off in this VTuber thing then. No one will cry when the leftists get denied healthcare, rent, benefits, and Slider, thank you for the A10 burp. They will be begged to be sent to Cokehead to survive.
Hurt or offended anyone, especially the hostile acts that her doubling down during the
And yes, unfriendly, I am working legally to handle my issues.
Sandrisk arc wasn't her being serious about it, just her lashing out. That she was just overwhelmed and reacting with hostility, seeing red and accidentally making it look worse for herself. Is she malicious? Probably not, but I
think Shy Lily and Bao need to change their species of whale to sperm whale, since that's all they're known for.
Anticipate that a lot of people will heavily disagree. Does it still deserve criticism?
That's actually funny.
Of course it does. There comes a point where the line between stupid and malicious blurs that you become so stupid it can come across as malicious, especially if you don't work on it. But my two biggest criticisms for Bao is that 1, she cannot shut up, and that from the incidents that we've gathered so far, 2, she can't take accountability. Again, a lot of what happened to her is not her fault, but it wasn't like she had zero control. She's a victim of circumstances, but a lot of these circumstances she created herself. It's always big harsh world versus poor little Bao. It's always Bao's approachability that always gets taken advantage of. It's always Bao's kindness that gets abused. Instead of working on her emotional impulsiveness, she would lash out, make excuses for herself, and blame everyone else, falling into this spiraling loop of self-victimization that she forgets or cannot take accountability for the parts in all the previous incidents that she had control over. She's an adult. Like I said, you can really only feel bad for a person to a certain extent or use the mental health card so many times before people start calling.
Actually, the funny thing is that the sperm whales are man-haters. They literally, female sperm whales actually beat up on male sperm whales after, is complete. Actually, yes, that's been biologically proven in sperm whales.
You out. She could have communicated better, reacted more calmly, actually used her head, and most importantly, shut up. I don't necessarily agree that these were mask-off moments for Bao. To me, this was just the other side of the coin of being a genuine stupid girl failure turned up to 11. Yeah, it's cute in the context of ooh anime, I don't know how to take care of myself kind of way. It's endearing when they perform it on camera, but in business relationships, in maintaining friendships, in conducting yourself in public, you fucking cook yourself. And you actually have to take accountability for it. If you know you're stupid, maybe take steps to protect yourself and others that take into account the fact that you're stupid. She needs to overhaul how she engages with people in public, and even perhaps how she conducts herself in private if Redacted's stories are to be believed. 2025 started with Bao being a victim, but it ended with Bao being a villain. The nanoless Cinder Google Docky, the career takedown that started to unravel Bao's reputation, happened in April of 2025. So there is some sort of poeticness to the fact that the career takedown, that is the Mal Saikuno Google Doc, also was released in April this year, as this is the most recent situation that Bao's name got smeared yet again. Now, the Mal Saikuno Google Docky is a weird saga. I already have a video on it, or at least I'm going to work on it, but Bao was loosely involved. In this Google Docky, it is revealed that this tweet, the misandrist tweet that jumped the Bao slander stocks, wasn't actually about Miskiff, but was actually vague posting about Saikuno all along. Many people went back to this tweet and said their pieces. Apologize to Bao. Y'all need to say sorry to Bao. Me personally though, yes, it does reframe what she said, but I still hate vague posts. I think the act itself was still harmful overall. And at first, the doc was a W. She was credited in the Google.
Chat, I hate vague posting. I hate vague posting. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. You know why? Because vague posting does nothing to solve the problem that you're trying to address. It basically just says, I have a problem. Nobody knows who you're talking to. Bao could have eliminated this whole entire thing of her being a villain if she would have put Saikuno's name on that original tweet. She could have avoided all of this. You want to know what's really crazy about it? Saikuno would not have sued her. He doesn't have the balls. He's a playboy, dude. He's an asshole playboy who's a cheater. Yes, fact. He is actually a misandrist, by definition. He is a vile scumbag man, and 90% of the world's men would probably kick him while he's down. 90% of the good men would. The problem is that she got in her own way, and now she's in this. And this is going to go on for a while, because Saikuno was known by every corner of the VTuber community.
Google Doc to be responsible for informing Mal.
Male VTubers hate vague posting almost as much as they have Goth Girl. I know what you meant, Red.
The creator, that Saikuno had
my mods.
a girlfriend. Heck, she even took it one step further and
you are
connected Mal and said girlfriend. But when the Saikuno Google Doc ended up poorly for the original detractors, she was dragged into it as well.
Yeah,
she had a hand in promoting a bad Google.
Don't you laugh at that, Snyder. Asshole.
Docky and giving platform to the worst person to make said docky. So she would make a stream clarifying her involvement in all of this. She wasn't part of making the doc, wasn't part of the cancellation itself. There were no pushes to make this doc from her. All Bao did was inform and connect the girlfriend and Hemomal. That was it. And that in terms of tweeting, she hasn't actually logged in for entire months. Now, while I do believe that Bao had limited involvement in this Google Docky, a lot of the backlash came from the fact that she got herself into another drama and another poorly thought out career takedown. Even if she was not involved, the fact that she got herself into this situation again makes people think that she has this like magical anomalous power to get herself into drama and then cry about it. And then one meme culminated.
You guys suck.
A screenshot of her saying, "Men sexualize us all the time. They just mad we now Donald wall them." All while having a Fanslay account that says that she is, and I quote,
You know that whole entire meme of Shu taking your opinion and throwing it in a trash can where it says you're a duplicitous whore on it? Bao, you definitely fit that turntable.
A 24/7 free use puppy girl waiting to be put in her place. And
you'll never ever have a good man throughout the entirety of your life, Bao. You will be a sad, lonely female who wonders why she's alone all the time. Oh, I thought we were congratulating you here. I'm sorry.
Well, it summarizes a lot of the issue people had with Bao, even enforces the misandry. Gives the impression that Bao is the type to follow the men are pigs angle, all while being happy to receive money from
Dark. There is no way that you could fix Bao. She's unfixable, bro. Hey guys, stop picking on Cody. It's not his fault goth girls scare him. I'm about to ban some people in my fucking chat.
said pigs and whore herself out.
And
while that tweet was made in 2021, we can see why that tweet was deleted. The audacity of it, you know, growing a parasocial, horny audience so you can reap them for money, only to actually secretly loathe or think super lowly of them behind their backs? It does not look good. At least, not if you look at it without greater context. What she was actually responding to was a video where a tourist was claiming that VTubers are manipulators, that they exploit their audience with sex. I've watched this video and I know that it's old, but it's critique on VTubing that I think is very bad. Coming across as a cynic's perspective for being a cynic's sake. It has
Congratulations, you played yourself, Bao. Yes, she did.
Too many lapses in its research and
do not silence us, Cody. We know Gothgate is real. Gothgate is a lie.
Whose critique.
Stop scaring away my new followers, guys. Gothgate is a lie. It's a horrible lie my community came up with. It's the one critique that I don't like you guys for.
Isn't specific or unique to VTubing and whose
I just don't like black lipstick on a female, okay? I just don't like that. Goth girls, great titties, great ass. Very vibrant personalities. It's the fucking black. I cannot stand that on a woman's face. I can't fucking stand it. I don't know why. It just fucks with me, man. I can't do black
conclusions
lipstick
are
on a face.
too much of a stretch to make a
I hate goth girls. I'm about to break my new computer chair.
Meaningful or impactful message. It's a video that I...
By the way, Chad, thank you for funding that on, oh god, what's that site that Neve's got me into? Throne! Thank you for funding my new chair in Throne, by the way.
Would constitute as being made by a tourist who doesn't really know too much about VTubing and whose exposure to the medium and industry is max a week or so, even if...
Red, you are about to lose your mod sword so goddamn fast, you fucking sexy ass. I'm about to take it from you. I'm about to take your new toy away from you.
If it was made 4 years ago. As someone that is part of the industry, I know this medium has a lot of flaws and things...
You really went and made me buy more bits for that? I didn't make you do shit, Slider.
Things to criticize about.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Red. Yes, you did. Don't you dare. Don't you dare say you didn't do anything.
Legit things, valid things, but this video was not it, nor was the creator the best person.
Why, is there another chair on Throne? Yes, I had one that was green and I had one that was blue because the blue one was cheaper, and you guys bought me the blue one, so I appreciate that.
To make it. The video itself receiving a shit ton of backlash, even from other VTubers.
I like making out with goth girls that don't have black lipstick on their face.
Aside from Bao is, in my opinion, justified. But even with this context in mind, it's going to take a lot to change a lot of our critics' mind. It's clear that a large fraction of people are just fed up with Bao.
Women.
That was so perfectly timed, bro. Beta male energy. Is that a sexual theme on the internet? Like, what? Joel, bro, you literally cornerstone yourself, bro, as being one of the most feminized men on the internet. You are the beta, bro. You are. You're the beta.
And it's a sentiment that will follow her for the foreseeable future. The biggest takeaway from all of this loops back to what I said in the beginning and in the middle of this video. Being a girl failure...
Perfect. Yeah, that was perfectly timed, Slider. I'll give you that one.
...is cute. Makes you popular, but it also brings you unwanted trouble and drama if you don't know how to rein it in. A lot of the dramas that Bao got involved in were dramas where she just...
No, Wilby, I'm not putting that up as a poll. No, you just wasted 200 of your channel points.
needed to shut up and not get involved.
I'm not doing any polls on goth girls. Goth girls are hot when they don't have black lipstick on. Case in point. Red. I have seen IRL photos of that woman. She's goth as fuck. And I would not say no. Okay? I wouldn't say no.
Maybe she can learn from this. She learned it the hard way.
But she's taken, and I'm not a fucking homewrecker. I just want that to be clear, too.
But hey, a forced self-reflection is better than no self-reflection. Yes,
Totally
she did
worth it.
retweet the Saikuno doc, but she largely stayed quiet before and during.
Joel versus Joe Cat on who is the most womanly man. Oh, that's why I can't take Joel for a grain of salt, bro, because every single time the man versus woman debate is brought up, he literally types like a little girl. Literally.
During that whole thing, so she's going in the right direction, I think. The VTuber space is brutal. Bao herself knows this. Emotional openness is a strength for community and friendship, but it also becomes a weakness for self-management and appearance. Now, a lot of people aren't waiting for Bao to change. In fact, they're waiting for Bao.
As I've told you, they are AI photos based on my IRL. Oh.
To get loosely involved in another drama again. Also, they can have more reasons to clown on her. A lot of VTubers that has had that sort of heavy criticism and hate back then, like Vebe and Yanners, were able to somewhat rehabilitate their reputation by just shutting up and no longer embroiling themselves in drama. Mori Calliope has actually even found herself in a similar situation once in 2021, not knowing when to shut up and how to shut up, and not being able to manage her emotions, responding with clapbacks that only made it obvious that she was affected, and giving ammunitions for trolls. But 4 years later, it seems like even we have forgotten that she was like that at one point. It wasn't to the same extent as Bao, but that's because Mori caught herself at an earlier point in time. Now, I don't hate Bao. In fact, I quite like her. I have a thing for absolute loser women. So, you know, I have a bit of a bias, and I am not as vitriolic as I hate there currently is on her. I was down there in the trenches, waiting in line, bought her merch, and gave her the fullest extent of my benefit of the doubts. So much so that my benefit of the doubt stock is running critically low. If more happens, I am sure I won't have much to give of that to Bao any longer. But despite that, even I understand that Bao did deserve a lot of the criticism that many people have pointed out. Even if I don't necessarily agree with some of them, I can see why it's a problem. I want Bao to stop getting involved in drama.
At least
I
he
want her
admits it. Bibu? Wilby Bibu is a precious little gem that needs to be protected on the internet at all cost. Rabbits, thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you, buddy.
to take control of her emotions and, you know, do better.
I'm about to make a damn fighter roster for those discount twinks. I think I should add Mr. Slave from South Park.
The extent of her actions aren't enough to think she's unforgivable.
I would pay
to
money to watch
Bao
Joel
is a dumb
fight
fuck, and
somebody.
it takes more than recognition of your flaws to try and address it, but it is the first step. In any case, I hope this video is a bit more balanced and grounded than what you might have expected. Whether or not you dislike Bao or you still like Bao, I hope you can understand the aim of this video as well as why it needed to be addressed.
Depression, thank you for ending off my stream. And I really wanted to answer my chat's DMs with why I dislike Bao as much as I do. And I hope to God that when they see this video up on YouTube, the questions are answered. And I hope that they fully understand, and if you don't understand, comment on the video. I'll debate you openly. You can come over to X and I'll debate you on the topic even further of why I don't like her. Because a lot of you guys seem to be very confused as to why I don't like her. And I hope that this video and this reaction content clears that up for you. And why I cannot stand the girly pops. So, have fun. Take it with a grain of salt. This is my opinion and my opinion only. Don't take it as gospel truth within the male VTubing community. I'm just explaining my personal opinion on the matter. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah.